And really, the second half of this Saturday morning's training is really just to allow a lot of the members, Reza, of course, we have in the company, have had so much curiosity and had a lot of questions that they want to ask, of course, me and yourself. And so right now, we do want to take some time on this morning to open up the lines for anyone that has any kind of questions about their business that wanted to perhaps pick, Reza's mind, or of course my mind as well too. And so that's the next part of today's call. So again, this is where it's really going to be a Q&A format. We want to hear from you guys. This is a time where, in the past, you've always had a Danny being the trainer, which is just a huge blessing. But again, today you do have myself and Reza on the call to answer any questions that you might have. And so I do see that we have Hilda 8 with her hand raised. Let me just quickly, and her hands are now not raised. Yeah, so folks, feel free to, in the chat box, write any questions that you have. It could be anything. It could be, Reza, what do you talk about, for example, in your approaches? So anything you want to ask, folks, it's a completely open call. I do see Hilda's hand back raised again too. So yeah, Hilda, are you there with us on the call? I do see your hand is raised. I have tried to unmute you. Not sure if I can see her hands being shown there. But I guess while we're waiting, perhaps Reza, you can share with us how you're getting yourself onto all of these, MGRS and car qualifications on a monthly basis in the meantime.
Okay, great. Well, folks, before I start that, this is your chance, because I know there's a lot of times people are asking, questions when they see us alone they see us, wherever in person, they want to ask questions. So this is your chance. Anil needs to stop replying to Facebook. It's cutting on my screen. Anyways, yeah, what's happening is this is your chance to actually ask. I mean, Rene, how has it been for you? And what is it that you do? What's your DMO? What's your daily method of operation? How is it that you're making sure you qualify for the car? How is it that you're making sure that you launch a market successfully or train someone to be an LD1? Any question goes, anything and everything. It's an open mic, so you guys don't be shy. Put your hands up. Rene will unmute you, and you can ask your question. No question is a bad question. Now, if you choose to put in the chat box, that's an option too, Rene. They can put the question in the chat box, and we'll try to get to as many as we can. But for myself, it's quite simple. This is my business, and I attend my business. I know people are going to say, okay, what kind of answer was that? Well, it's just the answer. It is really the answer. Is this my business? Yes, it is. Now, am I part-time serious, or full-time? Well, in my case, I'm full-time. Now, being a full-time, I mean, everyone, different targets, everyone, to me, when I look at my compensation plan, when I look at a marketing plan, when I look at everything that's available put before me on a silver platter, I look at it and I say, hey, this company is wanting to give me everything that I see on the comp plan, on the prosperity book. I see what is available for me to collect and to claim. So guess what? I'm a little bit greedy. I want to grab it all. I mean, this is what's put before me by the company, by the CEO. So guess what? I'm going to do whatever I got to do in order to get to where I want to get to. And where I want to get to is at the very top, meaning absolutely I wipe out everything. The whole shebang, 3.1 million, all the bonuses about 4 million a year. That's what I want to do. And how do I do it? Step by step, brick at a time, step at a time. First things first, obviously, I launched my mall, obviously. Obviously, I love the products. I'm product of the product, from fashion, beauty to health. I'm a biggest consumer of all of it. I mean, my household alone, if I told you how much I use every single month, you'd be blown away. I have 3 young kids, myself and my dog, between fashion, beauty, and health, I'm easily doing about $400 a month. Easily $300 to $400 a month. I could be doing more, right? So this is one thing. So I use the products, obviously. Now, my belief system with our business and with our product line is through the roof. My belief is here, not here, but here, in terms of how confident I am about our fashion, obviously, and beauty. The first 13 years or 12 years, right? I own many shoes. I own all my timepieces. I own many, 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 many fairy items, fairy posh and fairy much items, many. The beauty, obviously, I love this stuff. My kids love this stuff. And now with the addition of the Fountain of Life, There goes 7.4 billion people in the world on my list. Before I had to wonder who would like my fashion and who would want the beauty. I know 7.4 billion people. Yes, they don't know about FOL yet. That is to me that I got a list of 7.4 billion people to get to show them how amazing, how life changing the miracle of product this FOL is. So, guess what? Now, whoever's within the reach, whoever's within my site is going to hear about Fountain of Life. My job is to share that with them. Believe me, I could leave in the morning and come back at midnight, and I'd be talking to 100 people, and I'd be getting close to, I don't know, if not 100%, 90% saying yes, they would like to know more, they want to buy it, right? That's the kind of product it is if it's presented well. So that's what I do. I get my VIP customers every single month. You know, they were talking about earlier, Nancy was talking about the amounts that you need to retail and the VIPs and so on and so forth. I don't even look at that. I don't even look at that. You know, where you need 300 or 400 or 500, I do 1800. Again, I'm not throwing myself flowers, but I'm just telling you that is the kind of product it is. I'm out there and I'm talking to absolutely everybody about these products. Now, I don't go and talk high and dry, but I have my FOL on me. Even when I travel across the globe, I have the FOL on me. I have my FOL cards on me. I have my tools with me. So what happens, I even sample it. I did a meeting in Eldoret, and there was, I don't know, 40 people in the room. It was supposed to be a one-on-one around a round table of 6 people. Ended up to be like 40 people. I didn't care. I invested. I took a whole bottle of FOL. I opened it up, and I asked the audience who wants to try this, because I don't want to force it upon them. I said, who would like to try this? Guess what? Everybody. Everybody. So I went through the room and gave it to everybody. And because of it, everybody was interested to buy and become a member. So this is really what I do. I eat, sleep, and breathe Opulence Global Fountain of Life. That's what I do. And because of it, because of me doing what I'm supposed to be doing anyways, this is my business. This is not something I do on a part-time basis. It's not something that I do as a hobby. This is what I do. This is my livelihood. And I believe the fact that we have a product that is so extraordinary, whether it's from fashion, beauty to now health, which has no competition whatsoever, it's made my life so much easier. Anyone, everywhere, regardless of the location, are my customers, my potential customers, partners, and so on. So that's what I do, Rene. Maybe why don't you share with us what is it that you do? Because we all have our own style, we have our own approach, we have our own techniques, we have our own strengths. So what is it that you do, Rene? Because I know you do this quite well, right from the start, whether it was fashion, beauty, now the health. I even remember seeing your beauty video you did. So, you know, I love the way you go about it. So share with the audience, what is it that you do?
You know, and again, thank you so much, Reza, for sharing. And very similar to what Reza does, folks. You know, I'm the same. I carry Fountain Life bottles with me literally wherever I go. At minimum, even in Toronto, in my car, I have at any given point in time, literally at least a family pack in my trunk. In my bag that I bring into my meetings, I'm always carrying at least 3 or 4 bottles. But the main thing that I wanted to everyone to just understand about how I sort of build is that I don't look for a time to build. I don't look for a time where I'm going to, okay, this is the day where I'm going to be out there and sharing FOL. For me, it's part of my day. As I'm going out there buying groceries, you know, whether you're going to pick up your kids from school and you're meeting some parents, literally every single place that I go, and I think this is the key thing that I hope everyone can understand is that there's not like a specific time that I'm doing the business. I'm doing it all the time. And that's the biggest thing is that I don't, you know, some people I've heard, you know, want to set aside time on this day to go and do prospect. For me, I literally do it, literally every single place I am, you know, wherever I go, I'm always doing the business. And so the key thing is by having the products with you, again, like Reza said, having that belief in your products, you won't be shy to share it. And, you know, for me, I like to I'm very observant. I look at different people. If someone is showing any kind of a pain, you know, they're you know, walking slowly, or their knee hurts, or they're, you know, I'm very straightforward. It's like, hey, are you okay? It looks like your back is hurting, So I typically like to find if there's a problem first and then offer the solution. But again, there might not be a problem, right? And so in those cases, I just have a conversation, So in my mind, I guess the secret to prospecting and approaching is a whole training on its own. But for me, my secret in prospecting is I'm not, you know, thinking off the bat, I'm going to sell a bottle. For me, when I prospect in my mind, all I'm thinking is, who can I talk to today, and can I make a new friend today? So my key in my prospecting is really just thinking to myself, who can I meet today that I could become friends with? And so there's no pressure to have to sell anything. And that's sort of some tips to how I approach. Now we do have some questions coming in, Reza. Um, and I want to make sure I answer all these questions as well too. And the first one is, hi, this is Aniza. Everybody asks, how long should we take the FOL because they don't want to take it for life and nobody wants to get addicted to it. What should I tell them? Now I have my own answer ready to pop. I know Reza, we get the same thinking. So why don't you take this question first?
Well, when someone says something like that to you, is because you told them that this was a cure. You told them you oversold FOL and you told them it's like medication. See, in our mindset is that we buy medicine because we're sick. And once we heal, we don't need that medicine anymore. See, this is where we market it, is the way we get responses back. If you oversold it as a medicine, then you're going to have replies such as this. But if you understood well what Fountain of Life was, it's proper nutrition, it is the lignins and antioxidants that you do not need one time. You need it on an ongoing basis. If you need it one time, we would eat one time, then we would be okay, right? No, we need these nutritions in our body every day. We need the antioxidants in our body every day. Why? Number one, we need them to cleanse. Number two, we got external free radicals, all the things that we have no control over that we expose to on a daily basis. We need to get them flushed. We need to give our body what it needs to heal itself, ongoing. So it's not a one-time deal. It's proper nutrition that you need to. If you can, do we brush our teeth one time? Do we go to dentist one time? There's so many different ways we can answer this. So it is how we market it to a client. When they say they don't want to get addicted to it, my answer would be, do you get addicted to apples? Are you addicted? Do you eat apples? They say yes. I said, are you addicted to apples? Some people might be joking, say, yeah, I love apples so much. Okay, great. But if you stop eating apples, would you die? No. So this is what that is. You got high amounts of lignins, antioxidants that you're adding to your daily diet in order to ensure that your body is properly maintained. If you have a car, you take it in for a tune-up, hopefully. I know some people don't. That's when you see a 2016 car ready for a junkyard. But you take your car for maintenance, you take your car for oil changes. You constantly maintain your vehicle. So the same way you have to maintain your body, your health. And that's my answer. I mean, many things I could say depending on who it is, but really I make sure I give them proper information regarding what the Fountain of Life is. It's no medication. This is not something you can overdose on or get addicted to. This is proper nutrition. So, Rene, how would you answer that?
Yeah, no, again, amazing points there. And because I was reading the question again, and she's saying that she doesn't want them to get addicted to it. So one thing, again, just to point out that is that there's nothing within Fountain of Life that will cause any sense of addiction. There's no drug inside of it. However, I think what Reza's trying to say, and my answer would be that that's the wrong mindset. Because to me, I don't take Fountain of Life because I'm trying to cure something like Reza said, and then be done with it. Because if you really understand the purpose of the Fountain of Life, it all starts from the fact that there's constantly free radicals that are basically causing oxidative stress on our bodies. And over a long period of time, if we don't take care of the free radicals, it does lead to a tremendous number of degenerative diseases, right? And so the key thing to understand when it comes to Fountain of Life is that the main purpose, again, is to protect and to preserve your health, to keep you healthy, to keep you living a long period of time. So the mindset is, with FOL, is it should be a product that you want to take every single day for the rest of your life. And when I found about the cost of Fountain of Life, it just shocked me because I used to spend so much money taking other health products. And typically on a monthly basis, just for one person, like for myself to take care of my health, the supplements and the vitamins, blah, 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 I was spending at least $180 Canadian minimum to take care of my health, right? But that didn't include, my wife and my children and my parents. I love Fountain of Life because for the same cost I was paying before on my other products, with how much I can buy for Fountain of Life bottles from this company, I can take care of every single person in my household. So number one, it's the most cost-effective way to, again, to protect and preserve your health. But again, the biggest thing here, Aniza, is to shift that mindset that it's not a product that you want to take just to cure that back pain or to keep away, to remove that scar from your arm, right? It's meant to keep you healthy and living the best, healthiest life you can possibly have, because FOL has 24 times more lignans than the flaxseed. It is the most potent plant antioxidant on this planet, and so again, if people are asking you how long did you take it for, my answer is forever. This is one product, the one product that I can take every day, morning and night, that can protect my health for the long term. And so that should be the key thing. And there's no sense of addiction as well. But again,
I mean, I don't want to compare to multivitamins, but we know people are taking multivitamins because they don't believe that they're getting enough nutrition and the value from the food they eat. So what they do, they buy over-the-counter vitamins. So how long do they take these vitamins for? Well, people take them as long as they could remember and afford and do it. So this ain't no vitamin. This is 100 million times above what the vitamins are, and it's a proper nutrition, ongoing, to ensure your health, ongoing. So that's really how you can answer it.
Yeah, and but the funny thing though as well too is that after now having been taking FOL for almost, I think, 8-9 months now, Reza, for both of us, it's amazing because I don't want to stop taking it. So this whole thing with addiction is not an addiction because there's a drug that's making you become addicted to it. It's because you want to keep feeling healthy. I mean, I'm pretty active. I do a lot of gym and exercise. I'm trying to, play badminton and stuff. And, when you're taking a daily anti-inflammatory, a daily antimicrobial, a daily antioxidant, you just feel good. And so if anything, it's that want to constantly feel good that you're getting by taking the product. And so again, that's just my own personal experience with it and many others. So another question that did come in here from Fabronia Apondo is, hi Rene, what can I do to achieve a cycle every month as per the competition plan? And so again, to achieve a cycle, you definitely, all these questions, in fact, when it comes to how do I make money, period, it always boils down to the first step, which is sharing the products, sharing Fountain of Life. Because, if you lead with the business first, sometimes you might have someone that was caught off guard. They weren't looking for a business. And now because you approach with the business, they kind of had the walls up, right? For me, I always lead. And maybe to answer Payment's question about the prospecting methods, I personally always lead with the products first. I always lead with the products. I'm talking about how I can help someone with the product, because once someone likes the products, the rest comes along. But to answer your question directly, to get a cycle, you do have to have team sales in both of your teams. So on the left team and the right team combined together, you have to have what's called CV, or commissionable volume. And so when the CV adds up to either 900 or 1800, 3600 or 5400, you do get paid a percentage of that volume. So again, in short, you do want to make sure you have your 2 legs in the binary system growing. So I love the fact that it's 2 legs, because building 2 legs is easier than building 10 legs. And we get paid to infinity, which is a lot better than getting only paid down to 7 levels like other companies do. But in short, when you have your 2 teams and there's CV coming in, again, CV comes from packages being launched. CV comes from products being ordered. So there's always CV coming in as long as there's people getting started, because there's products in those packages, or they're actually buying products. So that's how you can achieve a cycle. But again, it all boils down to, and it all starts from, again, you sharing about the products. And one little tip that I just want to share before I pass the mic here to Reza to share his thoughts is, even when I'm sharing FOL, especially with prospects that don't know me, They don't know that I'm selling the product. Oftentimes, I don't even necessarily let them know that I am the one selling the product. I was at badminton the other day. I saw a gentleman that was rubbing his knee, and and he was trying stretching his back. And I said, "Oh, is your back hurting? Is your knee hurting?" He said, "Yeah, whenever he plays too much, he has these pains." And what I said to him was, I said, "Well, actually, can I recommend to you a product that I think can help you with that?" He's like, "Sure." So, well, actually, I said, my parents also have, similar issues. And they took this new product. It's actually made by a Canadian company, but technology based on a Finland technology in Europe. And it's a antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, and it works so quickly that within a week, my parents, their body pains practically went away. He's like, "Oh, well, where can I get a bottle?" And so I think a lot of people at that point in time, when they are asked, "How do I get a bottle?" you might respond, "Okay, well, I actually sell the bottles. Let me sell you one." For me, I want to make sure that they don't even prejudge the fact that I might be the one selling it, because some people, if they find out that I'm the one selling the bottles, they might think that all these stories I'm telling them are just to entice them to buy the product. So what I said to them was, well, actually, because it works so well for my parents, again, here's my response to the question, how do I get a bottle, right? My response is, well, because it works so well for my parents, I actually got a few more bottles for myself, and I have a bunch of extra bottles. I just placed an order. I actually have extra bottles sitting in my trunk. If you want, I can just sell you one of my bottles. He's like, "Sure," and done. Because I've done the same thing, but instead of using that approach, I told the person, "Well, actually, I can actually sell you a bottle because I have distributor rights to it." And then they kept asking more questions, and long story short, maybe they felt like I was being biased because I'm selling the product, right? So again, you don't have to do it that way. I kind of feel out my prospects, but I find that for the first bottle I'm selling, that's always the safest route, because when I sell them the bottle, I have the contact, I have their phone number. Once they like the product, when I do the follow-up meetings, it's very simple to have them become a VIP, or for them to actually then go and want to learn more about becoming a shop owner with the company, right? So let me turn the mic over to Reza to share his thoughts too.
Well, that's a great way, but I use that as well. I do tell them that what it's done for people, for myself, for my family. Yes, I have some extra bottles, or if I do not have the bottle on me, what I do tell them is this: you know what? I wish I had some extra bottles. I did this morning. I don't now because but what I can do for you is I can assist you quickly to create your own free VIP account, and I can assist you by placing your own order directly from the company. So now they're going to say, "Really?" I say, "Yeah, that's what I've done. You can set you up within a matter of minutes, a couple of minutes, and we can place your order so the company will charge you and ship it to you directly to your door." So if they're open to that idea, usually they are. Sometimes they're like, "Well, no, I'd like to buy from you." Well, if you like to buy from me, then no problem. I will, bring it to you after. But often they say, "Okay, sure." So I open my smartphone, or if I have a tablet or whatever, boom, create them a VIP account, put the payment method in there, and place the order for them. Now they tell them, "This is your username, this is your password. Your order should be arriving within X number of days. Look out for UPS truck." And what I did was I clicked the smart buy. If they say don't do it, then I won't. But I would suggest to them, look, this stuff is, I'm so confident that you're going to love this stuff. You don't want to wait till you run out to place the order because you're going to have to wait again. Would you like to do the automatic, the software knows that if you're taking 10 drops per day, it would last you X number for you and your partner or whatever. Do you want to click this box so it can automatically be sent to you the following month? If they say, okay, great. If not, I'll place the order, but I do tell them about the smart buy option that they can click on and they can get it directly. So from that point forward, they're a customer. Obviously, I follow up with them the next day. I'll say, "I'm going to check up on you, make sure that you receive your order well." And they say, "Okay, sure." So what I do is I call them, let's say, next 48 hours, if they're within the zone that I know they might get the products in 48 hours. If not, I'll follow up with them anyways, make sure they receive the bottles, make sure they open the bottles, make sure they know how to take it, not that it's difficult, have some more conversation with them about this product, of how they can use it topically or internally. So I built that relationship with them that I want to make sure that they do understand It was not something that was sold to them. I'm gone. No, I care about them taking it. I care about knowing about the results. I do want them to share the results in the future, and so on and so forth. So it's an ongoing relationship I develop with my customers. As a matter of fact, since February of this year, every single customer that I personally acquired are still ordering it month after month after month. This is amazing. This is incredible. There was someone that had bought a six pack and did not want to do the. It's one person, but she purchased a six pack, and I had sort of forgotten about her because 6 months.
You're
But
busy.
yeah, but I remembered it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this person should need some soon, unless they never took it. Because I did follow up for the first month, every couple of days or couple of weeks. I had forgotten, and this person beat me to it. Send me a message, call me, say, where can I get some more FOL, Fountain of Life? I says, how long you been out? See, what's really interesting here that puts a smile on my face, not because I'm happy, but because it reassures me how powerful this product is. This young lady, diabetes and high blood pressure, she got on these products early in the year. Immediately, she started seeing results from joints, feet, and all that. She has been out of Fountain of Life for about 5 weeks at that point that she called me. 5 weeks she's been on it. I guess she didn't see the importance of reordering until she started noticing that the old symptoms are starting to pop up again. And this is when she realized, my gosh, I was taking the FOL, that was all gone away, but now it's all coming back again. So guess what? She placed another order for a six pack. But this time, she knows about the checkbox of the uh, smart buy. So that's something she understands now. She doesn't want to be left without it. I've had a few situations like that of people not wanting a VIP account for whatever reason. They just want to buy from me. And I told them I might be here every day. I may be gone for a month or two. So they caught me when I was not here. They're calling me in a panic that they're out of FOL and I'm all the way down in Africa, right? So, anyways, nevertheless, I helped them online to get their smart buy. And this is what's amazing, that every single customer, when I say every, I mean 100% of the people that I personally sold this stuff to have reordered month after month after month. That's awesome. That shows to me how powerful Fountain Life is. Back to you, Rene.
Thank you, Reza. And folks, so the key thing here to understand is that the end goal of both Reza and I is to get people on the VIPs, because that's the guaranteed way for them to get their products, and you get paid guaranteed every single month, right? But again, it really again. So you're hearing from two different millionaires doing their slightly different ways, but the end results are always going to be the same. The one key thing though is, again, just to clarify, is that whenever you possibly can get them on the VIP, do that. That's definitely the goal here. But sometimes you have to also judge your person, So in the case where with my prospect, if I can sense that they're in a rush to go somewhere, like you're literally out the door, then I know that to spend, even just 3 minutes to get him to go through the phone, and he's like 67 years old, it would have been the wrong time to do that. So again, the key thing is, get the bottles into their hands at any cost. Like whatever you gotta do to get them to get their products, do that right away. And of course, if you can get them on the VIP right away, then definitely do that as well too. So there you have it. Again, just the same system that you can do to make sure you can definitely go and prospect, and how to sort of sell the product in the most effective way. So another question that came in, because I don't want to miss any of the questions here that did come in, and we'll cover the approaching side we're kind of covering as we're answering other questions here. What is the best way to prospect someone in the field of medicine, especially in the research department? And so, again, Reza, do you want to take that one? I can cover it. It's up to you.
Um, you know, uh, I gotta be careful how I say things, because I say things I mean well. I usually create a different situation. I use something as an example to make the people understand what I'm trying to say. So I got to be very careful about the examples I make here. But um, uh, the question You just asked me, Renee. Um, Repeat it one more time. Make sure I'm answering the right question. Repeat
Okay,
it one more time.
yeah. What is the best way to prospect someone in the field of medicine,
Okay, I heard
especially
you
the
right.
research
I
part?
heard you right. See, when we are sitting and we look at other professionals, let's say doctors, lawyers, I don't know, like different trades and so on and so forth. What we think is when someone's called a doctor, the expertise, they're expert of everything, absolutely everything. I do know one thing personally, more so for North America, maybe the rest of the world too. Doctors are viewed as people that can have the answer for every ailment we got, and that's not true. Yes, they have the basics. They understand how the mechanics or how things are in order, like how to how human body works and so on and so forth. But expertise are either general practitioners, or if it becomes complicated, they send you to someone else. And I know within the same community, doctors, they have their mixed thoughts and feelings of natural remedies, and natural products, the health food stores. One of the main reasons, number one reason that doctors do not support natural remedies, natural health food stores, and so on and so forth, is because if you buy a natural remedy, if you buy from a health food store, there is no connection between the health food stores and the pharmaceuticals. There is no connection whatsoever. So if you were let's say I have a mechanic shop, if you buy the parts from me, obviously I make money on the parts. Or if I send you to the My Choice of Parts store and you go pick up the parts, some garage allows you to bring you your own parts. So if you go buy the parts from the place where they sent you, that parts store will take care of me because they know I didn't make any money on the retail of these parts, but I'm the one who sent them there, so I get a cut kickback. So in the health industry, when they write you that prescription, the prescription is gone to a pharmacy, and pharmacy gives you your medications and drugs. But deep down, I know these very same doctors. Again, not all. I respect and love all doctors, but so they got to support within their own, right? So now I know within the very same, because they have many in the family and close friends that are high. They have the belief system is very high towards natural remedies. When you tell them about Fountain of Life, I don't know how many doctors we have who market Fountain of Life out of their own private practice. I know, I lost count of how many doctors we have. Once they understand what FOL is, that they recommend the FOL to the patients. Now, there's some parts of the world that doctors don't have that tie with the pharmaceuticals. So these guys are, 100% behind us. They support the FOL because they understand what it is. So when you reach a doctor, when you approach a doctor, do not feel intimidated. Do not think that these people are so much more knowledgeable than you when it comes to FOL that you feel intimidated and you do not approach them in a confident way. This is the furthest thing from the truth. If anything, you got the knowledge, you have the understanding of what FOL is. Hopefully, you have done some reading what lignins are, because I know some people have never heard of lignins till Fountain of Life, right? Hopefully, you've done some research, some reading. It's readily available online what lignins are, what they do, how many types of lignins are there. We have every Monday night calls that we have the very same topic of our products and the benefits and how they put together. Like, so hopefully you've done some research, you've done some reading and understanding what FOL is. And when you speak to anyone, whether a medical doctor or not, approach it the same. Do not shortchange yourself. Don't be afraid. Well, can I see this? Is it going to sound stupid? No, believe me. If you've done some research, you're the expert. Okay? The doctor will be all ears. What they're going to tell you when the doctor says, "Can I see this bottle?" You know you've done a great job. When the doctor asks you, "Can I see this product?" you know you've done well. Okay? You show them the card and you show them the product. They're going to look at it. They're going to look at it. They're going to look at the FOL card back and forth, how long you've been on it, because it's working. It's working in their brains. They're interested. Now they're looking for something negative on it. And guess what? They're not going to see anything negative. They're going to be interested. They're going to be your customers. I know we have a lot of you guys out there who have your own doctors as your customers. My own mom, she has all the doctors as customers. So definitely, that's the reality of things. Renee, how would you address that?
Yeah, no, thank you, Rez, again. All good, amazing points there. And I can share actually a story of mine because I actually went to go see the doctor, not for any kind of cold or whatever, but I basically had jammed my toe, and my toenail actually turned black. And
Oh,
it was healing, and then I jammed it again, and then the nail actually popped off. But not actually, I took some photos. You can see it still on my face, but my toenail's practically grown back now. It's crazy because the top flap was actually like a little bit loose, like a clamshell almost, kind of weird. But it's actually almost grown back now. But in short, though, at the doctor's, I was talking to you about my foot thing. Basically, the way that I approached her in this scenario was, I just asked her. So I said, "Oh, by the way, I've actually been dropping this amazing product onto my toe, and it's really helped I found my toe grow back a lot faster." So I usually like to let the doctor or the person know in research that I've been using something that's given me some great benefit. They kind of know it's already working in that sense. And then what I asked her was, can you, I would love to get your thoughts on this product. Can I give you this brochure, and you can let me know what you think about this product, right? And that was it. And so what happens though is that eventually they're going to have questions if you keep on doing the follow up, right? And again, because they might have more knowledge on this product, it doesn't mean that you can't explain it. Like I just explained the fact that we have more lignins, and that what the scientists found out about this product was that from the Nubian spruce tree, it's the world's most powerful source of lignin antioxidant. There's 7 of the world's most powerful antioxidants in the world, and they've actually measured it. And they're like, wow. So if they do have any questions, that's where, again, with the Monday night call that Reza was mentioning, you can invite the research person or the doctor to join in on the call to ask any further questions. But usually, once they know that the product worked really well for me, and I want to get their thoughts on the products, that starts a conversation as if it would with any other prospect. Now I'm doing the same thing, talking about FOL, doing the comparisons, the lignins, and again, connecting to the person, like and trust, seeing if they have someone in their life that might benefit from this, right? So it's the same process afterwards. So I don't want you to think of talking to someone, especially in the research field, as any different. I actually did already launch 2 different PhD graduate students who both were studying, one was studying anti-aging in their PhD, and the other in anti-cancer research. And they also have their PhD done too. So, and they both got started because after I had them hop on David's call, which is a scientist call every Monday night at Crossfire, and I even had some additional information that I found on lignins, then that was more than enough to get them started. So again, it's not much different, Ashton, I guess is the answer. It's just about, finding a way to lead in. And my way was to show them that I took it, worked really well for me, and want to get your thoughts on it. And that started the whole conversation. Okay, so Payman had a question. Can you give us the daily average number of people that you talk to? I know for myself and Reza, it's probably at least 20, 30 people minimum. Because literally everywhere I go, and even when I'm out with my wife Heidi and we're going to like a restaurant, guess what? I'm talking to the waiters, I'm talking to the cashier. When we go to, let's say, Indigo to buy something for the kids, like some books, whatever, guess what? I'm talking to the cashier. I'm talking to people who are in the bookstore who are basically shelving books, right? Because what I understand about people is a lot of people, in their jobs, they actually don't mind shifting the conversation because they're so doing the same thing every single day, it gets boring. So in my mind, not only am I thinking, who can I empower? Who can I help? Who can I change their lives with? But I also understand that they're pretty bored, and oftentimes they want to have a different kind of conversation. So for me, it's about 20, 30 people on a daily basis. Reza, how about you?
well, honestly, Renee, I think 2030 is pretty good. pretty accurate. Sometimes it's a lot more. Sometimes, it's less because of, we have large teams that we tend to. But yeah, I mean, the way I look at it is the moment I heard, not when it was released, the moment I heard about Fountain of Life, the moment I heard what it was, there goes my list of 7.4 billion people. Like I said to you, everyone. It doesn't matter if they're high level sports people, like one of the questions I saw popping up. Doesn't matter if they're doctors, lawyers, doesn't matter who they are, old, young. What I do is I talk to everybody about this unbelievable product. I had a chance of actually getting on it a bit longer than you have been, Rene. As you all know, I went to Kenya. I came back. I was sick when I came back in September of 17. I guess our corporate, they saw me, they saw how rough I looked, and they felt sorry for me. Even though FOL wasn't released, I got my hands on some right away. I've been taking it since September of 2017, and my belief system is absolutely through the roof. So for me, doesn't matter who the individual is, my belief in me and in my mind is that they need FOL. I don't care if they're sick. Obviously, if they're sick or not feeling well, more so. But even if they're healthy, if they're, I don't know, if they're Mr. Universe, I don't care what they are. They need the Fountain of Life to constantly detox. People who've done, who pay attention to their own health. We always hear 7 to 10 servings of fruits and vegetables per day. See, I eat a lot of fruits. Sometimes I eat 7 to 10. Sometimes I eat zero. Depends on what I'm doing. But knowing that I have Fountain of Life in my possession, knowing that I can simply, by taking 10 drops, sometimes 20, I don't feel as guilty not eating my fruits and vegetables, I still eat my fruits and vegetables. So again, it doesn't matter who it is, what it is, what's the background. You want to speak to them. They're humans. They got blood running in their system, a bit of information, some research, Monday night calls, reading up on things. You'll quickly understand how powerful, how important lignans are, antioxidants are. So this is where we have a product, is the absolute number one, the best in the planet. 23 years ago, it was discovered, and it's exclusively available through Opulence Global members. So that's it, Rene. That's really it.
Okay. The next question we have here is, Reza, can you share with us how you all teach a new partner how to share the opportunity to qualify for MGRS? And that's the next question here. And just before we actually carry on here, we do have a bunch more questions, Reza, to give you a bit of a sort of a timeline gauge here as well too. Okay, buddy?
No problem. Well, my biggest suggestion is this. If you do not know how to qualify MGRS, you need to go to the Prosperity Book. It's all there. It's in the Prosperity Book. It tells you exactly what you need. Go to your back office, log in your back office. You should be well versed in navigating your back office. If you don't know where anything is, that's because you haven't spent any time in your back office. You need to learn where your back office does, what's available to you through your back office. There is this thing called performance chart, performance graph. You click on that. It'll tell you at any given moment of how close you are to what you want to be close to. Whether it's a $1,500 card, $1,000 card, $750 card, $500 card, MGRS, it's all there in black and white and some other colors. So this is something that you need to sit down, study, write down your questions, wherever it is that you don't understand, get with your My5 or your qualified upline and get them to break it down for you. To do MGRS, as Nancy mentioned earlier, was basically, obviously she is an LA shop owner, and what she does every single month to qualify for MGRS, Mr. Humans shared it as well, is make sure you have your VIP customers in check, okay? Make sure you have your one VIP customer or VIP customers, okay, that purchase $300 in a month, right? Then you got to make sure that you do your own personal 150 every month, and make sure you launch a shop every single month, whether it's a promoter or LA. That's simple. So if you are doing this even at the minimum part-time, but you do it strategically, make sure you're tapping in all areas. That's customers, the new customers. That is launching a new shop, and what you need to do personally as an LA, which is $150 per month. Or if you're on a smart buy for 150, that does it, right? So if you have these three covered, you will never miss MGRS. So any thoughts on that, Rene?
Yeah, again, thank you for sharing again what is required again for the MGRS. And folks, again, I think the question, if I answered correctly, was, how do you kind of teach someone to share to then qualify for MGRS? And that's where I'm gonna go back to my previous thing I was saying before, which is that again, I would suggest to teach that person how to first and foremost talk about the products. Because to me, again, truly, really, when someone knows how to share the products, it leads to everything else. So because eventually by them sharing their products, it will lead to them sharing about the opportunity that will lead to them qualifying for MGRS, right? So think of it as in stages, like step by step. I know that sometimes we want to get to that end point and just know, okay, what do you got to do to become, MGRS qualified? But the thing is, where does it all start? And again, for me, it's always started from sharing the products first, because again, that leads to everything else afterwards. Okay.
Well, Rene, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a quick example of, I'm going to share the story with Kenya when I got over there. I know we have this extensive training, how to reach the Royal and above. What I did was I focused on MGRS. I told people to master MGRS. Once you master MGRS and you do it yourself, basically that becomes a culture. Then if you have your personals, or it doesn't matter who really, but let's start with personals, people that you personally help to get it in the business. You need to hold their hands, you need to sit with them, and you need to set a target with them as MGRS bare minimum the very first month in the business. I show them what they need to do over the next 30 days or so in order to get this extra free money. Basically, that's what I do. I master it. I taught the team Kenya how to master it, the leaders there. And in return, because they mastered it, they're doing it, they're teaching it. So this is very important. Keep accountable your first gens. Call them every day. Work with them every day. Are you close to MGRS? How far are you? Let's go to your performance chart. Let's go see what you're missing. Let's see how close you are. I've seen people miss MGRS by being short just a few dollars. They didn't even know they were that close because they did not have MGRS on the radar. They thought MGRS was this crazy thing that they could never reach, or it's going to take a long time to reach. No, every member that comes in, we tell them immediately, this is what you must do over the next 30 days. Hopefully they join the rest of the month. If not, doesn't matter. 15th of the month, you got 2 weeks. It's plenty time that you can be qualified for MGRS. So master it, teach it, help your first gen, second gen, or any spark in your organization to do so, and you'll see it's going to be a ripple effect. More and more people want to be part of this free money. Back to you, Rene.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, the next question here is, and I can do this one really quickly, from Cuthbert. I realize that you can cycle at various levels, but I'm only interested in cycling at the 5,400 level. How to ensure that I only cycle at that level and not any other? Really quickly, in short, with the cycling, again, just to give you a point of reference, our first cycle does start at 900 CV. And again, most other companies that I've seen after looking at hundreds of plans here is that they only have one cycle usually. And that 900 cycle only pays you, because our $900 cycle pays you $45. Other companies, 900 cycle might only pay you about $30 or so. So number one, our lowest cycle entry point is already a lot higher than any other company's cycling point, mostly because we pay you on both legs. So don't get sort of tricked by the whole paying you 10% on the smaller leg because you're only getting paid on the small leg. We're paying you, up to 5%, up to 8.5% on both the legs, which is actually more, because if you're getting 5% of the smaller leg plus 5% of the bigger leg, which is double the smaller leg, it equates to a whole lot more. So, but of course, in other companies, I've seen the reverse, where their cycle levels are very high, like 12,000 to get your first cycle, which takes you forever to get up to, right? So in our plan, we designed it so that at 900, you get your first cycle. If you have more, you get more. So in my first example, if you had double 900 in other companies, you make double the $900 cycle. It's the same percentage, but you get paid double the amount. In our company, when you get to 1800 volume, they pay you a higher percentage. So you're actually getting paid more and more as an incentive to get more sales within your team, right? So, by the end of the day, the systems is pre-programmed to always pay you at the highest one first. So let's say you had 10,000 volume in your system. The first thing it tries to do is to pay you at the highest level, which is 5,400. 10,000 CV minus the 5,400, you have about 4,600 left. So with the remainder, it tries to pay you again at the next highest level, which is the 3,600. So the system by default will just, in short, always pay you at the highest cycle it can first and work its way back up again. Okay, so again, that answers that question. Another quick question that I want to address really quickly before another longer question about the pricing, which is going to be a bit of a longer discussion, I can imagine really quickly, is just about, how many lignins are in FOL. And so really quickly, I'm going to share a screen here to answer that question for you guys. But in short, the one thing that I love about the Fountain of Life is, of course, that, the actual amount of lignins that are inside the products are actually comparable to things in nature. So really quickly, just going to share my screen again here. One quick moment here. I just gotta go back to share my screen. Okay, share screen, go into the PowerPoint. Oops, wrong PowerPoint. Where's my other PowerPoint? Okay, one quick second here. So again, is that we can compare the amount of different lignins that you do have. So here we go. Okay, sorry for the delay here, but I wasn't planning on having to share this, and it's kind of gotta go back. Here we go. Okay, so in this PowerPoint here, you're going to see very quickly that going down here. Again, so one thing that I looked at myself is that in lignins are found in your everyday things, in fruits and vegetables, in fruits, in beverages. So you can see here that, red wine is good for you because there are lignins here, right, per 100 ml. Now this unit is called micrograms, which is a lot smaller. It's smaller than the actual milligram. So it goes kilogram, gram, milligram, and then microgram. Of course, we then have the fruit and, of course, the vegetables here. So the highest one so far on this page, of course, is the vegetables, which is the kale and broccoli, which is about 2,000 or so micrograms of lignins, right? Currently, before FOL, the world's most potent source of lignin concentration came from the flaxseed. You can see here the flaxseed, the same amount of weight of content, you have 300,000 micrograms of lignin. So again, this compared to the kale is 150 times more concentration of lignins than the predecessors, right? So flaxseed was the highest. But there's two downsides with flaxseed. One being you had to grind it up in order to actually be able to digest that stuff. And second of all, too much flaxseed can cause diarrhea. But to compare, again, the flaxseed to Fountain of Life, you can see here that converting the 300,000 micrograms of lignins from microgram to milligrams, divide by 1,000. So for 100 milliliters of flaxseed, there's 300 milligrams of lignins. With Fountain of Life, the same 100 ml, you have 7,200 milligrams of lignin. So in short, Fountain of Life is 24 times more concentrated, more potent, more powerful than the flaxseed. And second of all, again, don't forget that the absorption ability of FOL, the bioavailability, because it's sublingual, it absorbs a lot quicker than you trying to digest an actual flaxseed. So flax seeds are healthy for you 100%. We just have something that's 24 times more powerful and, of course, more quick to absorb into your body. So that should hopefully answer that question for you guys. And I'm not sure if I should move on to the next question, Reza. Do you want anything or on to the next question?
Next question.
Okay, awesome. So another question that came in that I want you to answer, Reza, and I think we can both share a few words here, is we all understand that coming January the 1st, everything will be coming into US dollars, roughly. Can you tell me how are you going to introduce a raise of 30 to 35% on everything we sell, and particularly FOL to our Canadian clients? I do understand that we would be paid in US dollars, but this does not apply to our VIP clients. We have all been very successful here in Canada with charging $50 Canadian, and people will not be happy with this raise in the price. Also, the Canadian 13% taxes will be in the US dollars. So in short, I have a lot to say about this, but Reza, why don't you go ahead first with this question here?
Well, first things first. I have been in health and nutrition as a customer and in business as well since barely I was out of high school. So when Fountain of Life was going to be released, we were all of us at the leadership level, we were not given a price, but our guesstimation was around $90 to $100 a bottle. Because I can't even say similar products out there, whether it's in Canada, United States, Africa, Europe, that sell for $75 US and up per month supply, all the way up to $150 per month. So having products such as Fountain of Life, we were hoping it was under $100. But no, our CEO came out and he threw this $50 full retail at us. I was kind of blown away. How can we afford to sell it for $50 Canadian, tax in, retail profit in, retail at a full retail cost for $50 Canadian? How is it possible? And his explanation was simple. Well, we want to keep it affordable. We know it's affordable for Canada, United States, Europe. We want to keep it affordable for all 7 billion people around the world. This is the kind of product that will go to 7 billion people. Once they hear about it, they're going to want it. And we need to keep the price within the range that, yes, there is less profit in it, but we can get it out to the masses. But then quickly, what happened was, as you know, this product is manufactured in Finland, and it's bottled in Canada. And what's been happening with the currency wars that's happening globally, it left us no choice. It left the company no choice but to go with a currency that is at least stable for now, because everything we pay is in US anyways. Now, coming to our clients being happy at a 50 Canadian, of course they're going to be happy, but it is like anything else. I remember when I bought my Range Rover in 1998 for about $90,000. The very same Range Rover, still the same body shape. In 2018, they pay as much as $200,000 for that very same vehicle. Now, the person asking this question, I know, she comes from the car industry. She knows what I'm talking about. Prices do go up. Labor does go up. Taxes do go up. So many things go up. So you cannot, if you have a product with such a small margin of profit as a company, everything goes up, and the Canadian currency drops, they have no choice but to adjust. Now, what of the solution? Because only in Canada, people notice the difference, because first of all, we have compared to 7 billion people, we have very small number of people who know about the Fountain of Life, even though we think it's a lot, but really compared to 7 billion people, we haven't even scratched the surface yet. So what we need to do is we need to correct the price of our product going forward. What happens to be the staple currency right now, doesn't matter by what means, but it's very stable globally. It's been for a long time, it still is today, is the US currency. So going forward, that was a decision made that, okay, Canada's 35 million people, the global is about 7.4 billion people. So what we need to do is we need to adjust the price so that way the company can stay profitable. And it's good for us too, because what's going to happen is we buy, we pay in US, we get paid in US, and it's something that must get done. It has to be done. It's like saying to the landlord dealership, why you ask me for $200,000 for your car when I bought the same one in 1998 for $90,000, right? So that's just the way it is. I mean, I do not even think about that twice. If someone, all of my customers, I tell them pricing is all changing to US coming January 1st. So, and I tell them why. I tell them what it is. And believe me, if these are the existing customers, they do not mind to buy it. If there are VIPs, they can launch their own shop, which I had one do last month, okay? She launched her own LP shop, so that way she can get the discount on it. Now, not only she will not notice the increase because we go to US dollar, she's actually got a discount now going forward. So, I mean, there's many different ways. If you talk about the existing customers, that's easy to explain. They can launch their own shop if they want to get the maximum discount. If you're talking about your future customers don't know. They know what you tell them. How much is this car? Is this much? How much is the bottle of Fountain of Life? It's this much. US dollars. So one currency across the board, US dollar, it's positive all around. And the fact that it's got to be done, it's got to be done. I remember a few years back, Canadian dollar was one Canadian dollar was 103 US. I remember that. It was maybe, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, something like that. Right now, it's about 75, 74, 73, somewhere around there. We don't want this fluctuation. We just can't afford. I know there was other companies that we, over the years, we dealt with. Their prices went based on the fluctuation. For example, you can't go to a jewelry store saying this necklace was this much 2 months ago. Why has it gone up? Well, let me see. The price of gold has gone up, right? It's the same thing. I mean, there's so many different. So in order for us to not to fluctuate the price, jump it up and down, we put one set currency, that's US dollars. It's positive all around.
Awesome. Okay. And again, just to share some other thoughts here as well too, is the whole thing with us sometimes thinking that it's expensive. It's really important to get a point of reference because number one, the prices in Canada are probably going to be a bit lower than international, about 2% lower after you include the taxes of 13%, because other markets, they pay 15%. However, other markets that are selling like crazy, but their prices are more expensive. In fact, they have to include the shipping. So a lot of times, just to give you a point of reference, people in other markets that have a lower average monthly income compared to Canadians are selling just as much products. As you can see on our first few slides this afternoon, the top sales went to markets like Kenya and St. Lucia and Singapore, And so my whole point though is sometimes the thing of it being expensive is more of sort of in our heads, because if it was too expensive for people to buy, then how is it possible that other people in different countries are able to buy so many bottles? It comes down to the fact that they want this product, and in reality, it's still very inexpensive. Again, every other company that I've typically bought products from before, it's usually for 1 month supply, at least 150 US dollars for a 1 month supply of these other products, right? And it does nothing close to what Fountain Love can do. That's going to be 50 US dollars, right? So, and Reza did say it correctly that when it comes to your clients, it's simple, in fact, all really good products typically go up in price. Look at all the big brands, look at all the most popular things that are sold on the market, they usually go up in price. But aside from that though, it's really to explain to the client that the raise in the price is not because the company is trying to make more money. It's because the company needs to maintain the production of Fountain of Life. Because think about it, right? Like Reza mentioned, when Canada and US dollar was 1-to-1, that's great. But we're using that dollar comparison to buy products from Europe, which is going to be, again, based on the US dollars, right? It's still the international currency. So when Canadian dollar drops so much, we're trying to use a lot more Canadian dollars now to go and buy the same supply that we're buying from years ago. So in short, the company cannot continue to run on a loss. It just makes common sense, right? They need to have their equivalent, costs covered to keep things running. So I just tell my clients, if we want to keep getting FOL, they have to raise the cost because the dollar is weak. And of course, things, it's not us wanting to make more money, it's because the source of where we're buying from, costs do change, right? It's just inflation. McDonald's costs more every single month. Burger King costs more. Your groceries cost more. Everything eventually costs more. But again, the company's not doing this because they're trying to make money. They're just trying to keep the production around. So
I have a very great example, Renee. This very same vehicle, let's talk about Mercedes. That's $100,000 US in US, 100K, is the same car is 140,000 in Canada. Why? Because Canada wants to make more money? No, because Canadian dollar is it's weaker than US dollar. So the very same car, both are dollar, they call dollars, but US dollar is 100K, Canadian dollar is 140K, because they have to. That's just the way it is.
yeah, so when you're saying that people won't be happy with the price raise, I believe it's how you explain it. If I were to tell you, the customer, that, oh, we're charging you more because we want to make more on you, of course they won't want to hear that. No one does, right? But if they realize that the reason why it's going up is because the currency is doing too weak, the company needs to maintain, the company cannot have a loss in making this product. That's the most easiest way to explain to that. People understand that. So at the end of the day, it's our jobs to always to remind our clientele that even with the increase in cost, it's still the most freaking affordable, powerful health product on this planet, right? So hopefully, again, that answers your questions. And so, yeah. So again, yeah. And by the way, the raise, again, if you look at the current gap between U.S. and Canadian prices, I think it was like $1.23. So not quite the 30 to 35% that you're mentioning, probably about 20 to 23% that I was watching recently as well too. Okay, so moving down here, yeah, so I guess someone was sharing about how, yes, FOL can become part of your grocery shopping. Again, great point there, Mona, to your own question, because what I do inform people is that for me, the average grocery cost in Canada has gone up if you look at the news recently, right? So to me, I used to be a person that spent so much money on my family on like whole food and all like organic stuff, right? But at the end of the day, you don't really know if you're getting the actual bang for your buck. Are you getting the full amount of health nutrition? Because there's pesticides nowadays. Even if it's organic, if your organic farm is next to the non-organic farm, well, are things blowing over? Are you so in short, I just felt like for me personally, and the way I explain to my clients is Fountain of Life helps me save money. It's my guaranteed way to know for just, whatever I'm paying, that I'm getting the most nutrition guaranteed in my grocery shopping every single month, right? Another key thing to also mention as well too, is that, again, even with, don't forget, to encourage the smart buy. So if you want to save an extra 10% discount to go on Smart Buy for 3 months and get a bonus 10% on top of your other things, right? Now in Canada, especially, again, just to make one last key point here, is there's a huge benefit to becoming a business partner in the company. If they whine about the pricing, we'll kind of show you a way to get wholesale pricing on this product. And if they're in Canada, how to also start your own home-based business, or to then get tax deductions. So I'll just
Renee, that's exactly what happened to me about 2 weeks ago. Exactly. The person was out of FOL. I told them it's going up to US dollars, so if they want to, that's what's going to happen. And I told them, look, if you want, you can get a wholesale pricing. They're looking at me, what do you mean? I says, how much you been paying right now? $50 a bottle plus whatever. I said, well, how if I can show you that it'll cost you a lot less? And they asked me, what do you mean? I said, you can get 20, 25, or 30% discount. Which one do you want? Well, show me, how do I do that? I showed the 3 separate shops. The person chose the LP, and that's what happened. Now, the question from Luis Giraud asking that, are we going to send out a memo to all the customers regarding the change of prices to US dollars? And my answer is quite simple. Luis, they are your customers. You are the shop owner. I am a shop owner. Rene's a shop owner. It's our job to call our customers, not the company job. It's our job to call our customers and let them know as of such and such date, the prices will change to US dollar, and give them the options of if they want to buy some ahead of time, or if they want to launch their shop to get the discount. It's our job as business owners, as shop owners. These people are our customers. So we need to pick up the phone and meet these people and tell them about the changes. So I hope that answered the question.
Yes. And so again, the one thing that you can say, just as a quick, because for me, I always like to use scripts, because as a programmer, I need to have that step-by-step instruction, right? One thing I would just ask the person is, can I show you a way how you can get Fountain of Life a lot cheaper while saving on your taxes? Because as a benefit in Canadians is to have a home-based business and get tax deductions, right? So it's an easy switch to go on from that, right? So, okay, the next question here, really quickly here, was um, so Carmel's is sharing that she even had a prospect that went to her website and placed a reorder for FOL without her even knowing. That happens all the time, right? Another question is, how about talking to someone in high-level sports? Again, now for myself, really quickly, I always like to see if I can zone in on the hot button for that person. So if I'm talking to someone in high-level sports and I know that they constantly have body pain, I would just lead in by saying, no, hey, by the way, do you have a lot of, body pain because you're in such a high-level sport? Well, yes, I do. Well, can I share with you something that can really help you with that body pain? And then introduce FOL, right? So again, it always leads the same way. So we sometimes think that because someone is an expert in their field of medicine or in sport or in something, that we need to do something kind of very different in our approaches. And oftentimes, in my experience, it's exactly the same way. The same conversation, finding their pitch or pain, the pain or pitch, what they're looking for, what they're needing, and going on that, right? Now, if it will turn out that the person I'm talking to at high level sports, because they're really competitive and they want to, and they're doing competitive sport because they want to make more money, let's say, I might even throw in the fact that, hey, I'd like to talk to you about an opportunity to, promote this product because it will help you with your body pains. And, it's a big opportunity to make some extra money here. Are you interested? Right. So but you'll know what to go on based upon your conversations with that person. But again, it's always the safest to lead with the product first. Okay. So, so another question that came in here really quickly was, Rene, why did you join Opulence Global? I can definitely answer that question, but maybe I'll take a few other questions and leave that for the end, I guess, Reza. Yeah, I can just share why we both joined at the very end. Leave that to the last question here. A lot of people are just agreeing that, again, price should not be a problem because FOL has proved itself, definitely for sure, too.
One thing I'd like to add there, Rene, often, not often, almost 100% of the time, it's in our mind. Because it's in our own mind, we bring it to the new person. We give them that energy rather than saying, oh, by the way, we all know FOL was underpriced. I was surprised how cheap it was, but they have corrected it to US dollars because of Canadian dollar fluctuation and so on. It's changed to US dollar, but it's still very affordable. And you can get it even cheaper if you want to launch a shop. Or we can go and say, hey, I just need to tell you something. As of January 1st, FOL is going to go to 50 US instead of Canadian. Yeah, I know it's going to be expensive, but that's how it is. You see, two different ways, two different approach. It is in our mind. It is what we say and what we do that often comes back to hound us the most. So we got to be conscious of it. If we think it is, then it is. If we don't think it is, then it's not. So that's what we need. My biggest advice, honestly, folks, my biggest advice, the difference between those that run through it and accomplish a lot and those who every bump becomes an obstacle is that those who run with it and reach places are the ones that run with it. Nothing becomes an obstacle. And if there wasn't even an obstacle somewhere, they look past it, they look above it, around it, and they get through it. In this case, it's not. In this case, it's nothing. I mean, you compare it to any product in the market, there is this, was hot for about a few months, I guess, for about a year in Africa. They're still selling it. This big bottle of juice that each serving has up to 30 grams of sugar. It looks like carrot juice. I'm not going to say the name of it. That sells for $75 US. I look at the nutritional facts on this bottle. First thing you see is glucose. Like, wow, that's the number one ingredient in this bottle. And it's nothing but fruit juice base. And they're selling for 75 US like hotcakes. You know, it's not even comparable. It's an insult to bring it in the same conversation as FOL. But I'm just giving you an example. And they're buying them like crazy. 75 US plus shipping, plus. We got the absolute best, you know. So it's a non-issue as long as we understand it ourselves. Back to
Yeah,
you, Rene.
and you just add to that, it's really also people can see how you respond to something, right? So we call it your posture. And so if my posture is, FOL is even at 50 US dollars, it's the most ridiculously underpriced health product on this planet for what it can do for your body, right? So when people see that you're not being, that they can feel from you, they can see from you that and they can see your conviction in what you're saying. That's really important. It's different than me trying to say to someone, well, I think it's still actually underpriced compared to other products, and it comes out differently, right? Again, so a lot of times how you deliver the answer. So there's a saying, it's not really what you're saying, it's how you're saying it sometimes, and that's also very important too. And so again, but the simplest way when it comes to pricing is, again, I just tell people that the company just needs to make sure that they keep their shirt on, that they can keep producing this wonderful product for us because it's so beneficial for all of our lives. So people like that sincerity, but again, the key thing is to not look like you're weak on that answer, right? So another question that came in as well too was, how do you balance prospecting for clients and for business partners? My short answer is everyone starts as a client for me at first. Everyone that I prospect is for a client. Once my person gets on the products, pretty much it's my choice to then see if they want, in knowing that prospect, you know, I can engage where I should bring the next conversation. So if I get the feeling that from this person that they would be fantastic um, in the business, then I could decide to then ask them a question. I'd ask them, well, by the way, Johnny, would you have any interest in joining me in sharing and promoting this product and making some serious income, right? See his answer, right? Now, on the odd cases, you might meet someone that off the bat, you can tell they're just hungry for making money. Of course, you want to go and talk about the business, but when I open about the business, I always tell people, would you agree that every great business must start with a great product? Every great business must start with a great product. And everyone said yes. So then I said, well, can I share with you this product that we're bringing into the market? Because it's going to have a huge, huge, business behind it. He's like, well, yeah, sure. So it still goes back to the product. So I'm still sharing about Fountain of Life or the products first, right? Um, but again, but you might have clients that they're just happy being your customers. In your conversations with them, you realize that they're really just happy, with the retirement life. They're not looking at doing any of that kind of business. Well, leave them as your VIP clients. Like, it's okay to have hundreds and hundreds of VIP clients because they're buying from you every single month. You're making great income every single month, right? So it's okay to have a bunch of people that you don't convert from VIPs into business people, right? However, really important, just because you're a VIP does not mean they can't give you more business, that they cannot give you more referrals, that they can't help you expand your distribution and your market and your business. So even as a VIP, you can ask them, oh, by the way, Johnny, I really appreciate you being my customer for so long. And I'm so happy that you've been receiving such, blessed results with the product and it's really changing your life. By the way, would you be able to, help me out as a friend of mine and just send me 10 referrals to people that you think could benefit from this product? So now you've converted a VIP client. You're not converting them. They're still a VIP, but now you're tap routing, it's called tap routing, into their list of people. So there's so many ways that, again, so in short, just to answer your question there, Levi, the balance between the clients and the business partners, for me, it always starts with the products first, always. And then judged on your conversation with them, it can lead into the business. But again, either way, business or clientele, you can always get more business from those people. Okay, so Reza, back over to you here.
No, I mean, you said it all, brother. You said it good. Uh, you have to have a strategy in mind. You have to have some ideas in mind. You have to have practice to certain things. Not trying to wing it. Like you need to, be prepared and practice it and become better at it. The more you do it, the better you become at it. It's not a one-time deal that you do it one time, you've seen it done one time, now you're an expert. No, we're never experts. I'm constantly alert. I'm constantly open to ideas. I'm constantly exploring different things. If I see Renee's doing well in something, guess what? I zip it completely. I'm all ears and eyes and brain. Renee, tell me, what is it that you do in your meetings? Renee, tell me, how would you address um, this kind of question, product, business? Renee, tell me, what's your DMO? What do you do every day? I know that you got two young children. I know, you're up in the morning first. I know you take them to school. I know you pick them up from school. I know, and at the same time, I know you're at every meeting. At the same time, I know you're in your nightly meeting. Now I found out you play badminton. So how do you do it, Renee? And it comes with discipline. Honestly, if there was something that I could learn from Rene Liao, would be his work ethics and his discipline. I work hard. I work very hard. I probably work harder than Rene. Sorry, Rene,
I
but
agree.
but I'm not as disciplined as Rene. I don't get to play badminton. Forget about badminton, but I don't get to do what I like to do. I like to go to the gym. I like to take my cars out, which I haven't taken out this summer at all. I have some toys, which I left it sitting in the dust in my garage. Why? Because I had no time. Well, you know what? I could have had time if I could be more disciplined. So when it comes to areas that I know that Rene is shining, I would love to pick his mind, brain, mirror him, and learn from him on how to become more efficient with my time. Because I'm not very efficient with my time. Another area that I know that I need to work on is be more punctual with my time. Don't wait till the last minute to run to things. So these are the areas I'm constantly trying to, we don't like criticism, but I like to, like even if I don't like it, but I still listen to it and I know it's true. Not all of it, some of it is true. So therefore, I'm going to try to make better of myself. So by having that open mind, open ears, and trying to learn. So that's all it is. You have to be conscious of what you're doing or what you're not doing. And if you're conscious of it and you care enough to do it and do it well, then these things all will fall in place in time. So, you said it well, Renee. You said it well.
Thank you.
I know,
And
it's going to be some of the questions. So go ahead.
yeah, and just to turn back to, just to say my fair share, Reza has a lot of shining points that, like he just said, I'm always trying to learn from people that are doing things that I want to mirror, and Reza is a huge example of one person, but again, even with my own team, I see people that, have amazing shining points on them, and I learn from them. They say something that I think really resonates with me. I pick up what they're saying. So, end of the day, we always are learning from people around us. Okay, thank you, Reza. But again, to put back to you, again, there's a lot of things that I respect for you. You're so hardworking. Like, you do work really hard. You go to Kenya for like weeks at a time, and it's impressive. So again, thank you for that as well too. So again, other question that came in was really quickly was, so are you talking about affiliate marketing, right, Renee? So in short, yes, I am kind of talking about affiliate marketing. I'm asking for my clients to refer more clients to me, right? And the one thing I forgot to mention as well is that when I do that, people like to get something sometimes. So I even tell the person that I'm asking for those 10 referrals of people that can really benefit from this product. I then tell my friend, by the way, Johnny, just FYI, just as a special thank you for referring these 10 people to me, as they place orders for the products, you're also going to earn a 10% shopping credit. So from now on, anyone that you refer to me, if they, whatever they buy, I'm going to give you back 10% shopping credits. So now he's thinking, oh my goodness, if one of my bottles is $50, plus tax, and I refer a bunch of clientele that end up buying $500 a month of products, then he's going to get 10% of 500, which is 50. So he's going to start to figure out that even as my client and referring people to me, that he'll eventually get free products. So now he's even more encouraged to refer clients to you because he knows he's going to be getting, again, a 10% shopping credit for referring more customers, right? So, Yeah, so again, that's how, again, just to give you more answers on affiliate marketing. From Natalia George, you did ask, how do you guys handle objection? Again, the objection handling could be a whole other call for like 3 calls in total. So perhaps let us know in particular which objection that you are getting. From Ashton and Rene, how can I get a copy of this PowerPoint containing the lignin food sources? Actually, if you go into just your Google and you type in lignins within foods, I found this actually online, this actual chart, and I just added the actual, what David, our scientist, had added in one of his responses with our lignins compared to the flaxseed. If you do go to my website, however, which is the OURGWT.com, so again, my website is our globalwebtraining.com. I'll put it in the group chat. If you click on product training at the top, you will see the link to this PowerPoint download of the lignin comparison as well. Okay, so it's all there for you. Again, Payment asks any tips for prospecting in social media. My quick tip is really quickly is I don't like to do a post where I say, hey guys, I'm selling this, who wants to buy it? I never do that. What I do is I always just grab a post from the Fountain of Life official page, someone that had amazing benefits taking the product. I just screen capture that. I share it on my own wall and I say, I'm so happy for so-and-so that their issue with whatever has now been improved, So I'm just sharing my excitement for someone else having tremendous success with their issue, because I know that on my Facebook page, someone might have that same issue as this person, and that post will attract them. What I'm trying to do here is to see who's going to like my post and perhaps comment in the post. And they might even contact me directly after seeing my post. But if not, if they liked it or just they put a comment into it, I actually go and then message that person privately. And I say, thank you so much for, liking my post regarding, diabetes, for example. Did you happen to know someone that has diabetes? If it was about inflammation, I say, well, thank you so much for liking my post. Do you happen to know someone that's dealing with inflammation? So my way of prospecting online is called attraction marketing, where I do a post. I'm trying to attract people to like and comment on that post. And then I go and private message those people one at a time and continue building like and trust. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question again on the tips for social media. That works for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest. Go and put stuff up online. And the more that you do, the key tip is to do it consistently. You want to do consistent posts so that people are seeing a very consistent flow once a week, twice a week of new posts hitting your page, or even daily, but do it consistently though. So it's every day, do it every week, do it every week. Okay.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. And so, Rez, I guess a nice question we have here is 2 of my clients have experienced increased blood pressure from using FOL. Can you speak about this?
Well,
in short.
Yeah, go ahead, Rene. No, what I was going to say is that, again, I cannot stress enough how important it is to attend the company webinars, because David O and Sanaz and different people address questions like this. And once we understand the fountain of life, we will know fountain of life is not the cause of increase in blood pressure. Okay? So this is where it's very important that we know our product well. So that way, when someone comes up with something such as this, don't play God, don't play doctor, don't play, but at least you have the basic facts about our products. So that way you can answer them accordingly, because Fountain of Life does not, it's like saying I eat my 7 servings of fruits and vegetables and I got more blood pressure, or it just doesn't make sense. It just does not make sense. So I would stop it right there and then, and I would actually to get the answer, confident answer, I would contact in the chat to David O and ask him that question again, and I'm positive he'll come back with the same answer.
Yes. And actually, my thoughts exactly, Reza, because if someone does tell me that, the first thing I say is, well, there's nothing about FOL that can cause you to increase your blood pressure, you know. And however, we do have a call where if you want to ask questions, please hop on this call to learn more about the product. But I know for me personally, I actually asked them, you know, well, have you done something differently this month? 'Cause a lot of times people, you know, in tracking their blood pressure, especially if it's not daily, there's so many things that can increase your blood pressure. There's so many things, you know, stress can increase your blood pressure, right? You know, being angry can increase your blood pressure, right? So many things can have an impact, you know, and we don't know what that person is eating from morning till night, what kind of stress they're going through this week or this month, right? So I just tell people straight up that there's nothing about FOL that can cause increased blood pressure. It must be something else that's happening to you. But if anything, FOL will help you uh, protect and preserve your health. So turning it back around to the fact that FOL is going to protect and preserve their health. Now, by the way, there's a post that was posted onto the Fountain of Life official Facebook page where they had somebody literally track their blood pressure for like 45 days or 60 days straight. I highly suggest you to grab that post, download and screenshot their tracking of their blood pressure, because they show their blood pressure going from like 160 every day down to like 120 over like I think it was like 45 or 60 days.
Yep.
And send that post to the person who is talking about their increased blood pressure. So, well, look at this person here again. This person tracked their stats on a daily basis. You know, why don't you try tracking your stat daily while taking FOL? Right. So again, you know, and the whole purpose of showing this other post to them is that it will increase their confidence in seeing someone else taking a product that had benefit and showed a reduction in their blood pressure, right? So again, that's how I would answer that
I
objection.
think we have time for one more question that's regarding the vitamins. Maybe you can answer that question. Then we got Bernicia on the call as well. We get her to share her story of what she does in her island. What is, you know, she'll share with us how she did car qualifying.
Sounds good, yeah.
Call the call. Yeah.
Yeah, so, okay, so really quickly, I'm just gonna blow through these 3 questions. And so if you just pause the questions for now, because we're almost done, Ashley, please join back again next weekend. Really quickly though, when someone says I'm taking vitamins, do we leave it at that or we give them more info? So one thing that we have to understand about the product, Italia, is vitamins are vitamins. Vitamins do contain a little bit of antioxidants, but what I understand from most people, even myself, is most people, they actually want the antioxidants. Because vitamins we can get in the fruits and vegetables, but what we're not getting in our daily consumption is the right amount of antioxidants. And so even if they're already taking vitamins, most cases people take it because they want the antioxidants. So I just literally tell someone, you know, well, I think it's great that you're taking your vitamins, but you know, can I share with you a new product that just blew my mind, and that in fact it's actually helping me save money from buying all these other vitamins. So now they're thinking more powerful. It's helping them save more money compared to their vitamins. They want to hear more, right? And what I tell my people in the end again is that what we're not getting in our diet, even from vitamins, is a strong enough, potent, concentrated source of antioxidants, right? Again, by the way, too much vitamins, there's a toxicity. Too much apples, you consume, there's toxicity. Too much oranges, there's toxicity. What I love about Fountain of Life is that as much as you can take, it's 0.0% toxicity. I think someone asked David, how many bottles would you have to actually take in order to try to get even a little bit of toxicity? It was like 2,000 bottles, something like that, right? So in short, the key thing is to understand, again, that with our products is that even though they're taking vitamins, they're not getting enough antioxidants. So definitely, to answer your question, share with them Fountain of Life, even if they're already taking vitamins, because again, this is, like, to me, FOL is a must. You've got to have your FOL in your diet. The vitamin stuff you can, you know, customize on the side, but definitely gotta have FOL. The next question here really quickly was, again, well, just from a comment from Boris, was that being tested for blood pressure increases blood pressure at times. So many things can increase blood pressure. Again, thank you very much for that, Reza, Boris. From Anonymous, with us going to US dollars, what effect will it have on us filing Canadian taxes as a business? There's no impact, because even though, because the company is not becoming a US company. It's still a Canadian company, but just charging in US dollars. So nothing changes with us filing our taxes, because at the end of the day, what we pay for our expenses, when you do your deductions or your reporting of income, is just in US dollars, which gets converted back to Canadian dollars. So nothing happens with the change going to US dollars. We're not becoming a US company, we're just charging in US dollars. So that's that question answered as well too. And the last thing I guess was from Nancy. I guess she's asking us, me and you, Reza, to share more of our, our daily plan from morning till night. And of course, I guess why I got started, but we'll leave that to the very end. I did want to get a chance to, of course, like Reza said, turn the call to just congratulate and to have these wonderful partners share. I know that Vernicia is now on the line, and I'm going to quickly unmute Vernicia. And again, when you hear this lady here, get ready, because I can be half asleep or exhausted. When I hear her speaking, she gets me excited, right? So Vernicia, do we have you on the line with us right now? Vernicia from St. Lucia.
Good morning, Rene, can you hear me?
Yes. Again, good morning to you as well, Vernicia, and welcome to our Saturday training call. Thank you for joining. I know that you're constantly, like, if anything, folks, you want to hear from Vernicia, because from morning till night, her routine is just insane. So, Vernicia, me and Reza were just saying that, you've always hitting the MGRS, you're always car qualified. Can you share with us what you're doing to maintain your success?
Actually, you know what, Vern, before you get to that point, I know you were not qualifying at the beginning, but once you realize something changed, that you never miss MGRS, but you go into a bigger car. So can you tell us the difference from the beginning when you were not to the time that you don't miss?
Well, good morning, Rez. Good morning, everyone on the call. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me. My voice sounds a little cracky because I've been screaming for the past couple of days. There's something happening in the Caribbean and in St. Lucia that is bringing the energy of the islands up, because I don't know if you guys know about cricket, Rez. You know about cricket, right?
Yes, of course.
And so there's the Women's World Cup going on, and the girls are killing the boys in this game.
Oh,
so we're screaming down every night. As it pertains to what's happening with the business, guys, I remember in the beginning when MGRS got started last year, that was November, was it, Rez?
Yes.
I remember getting a lot of heat and pressure from Reza and Ramin and Sanaz. When you have to get qualified, you have to get qualified. But truth be told, while I understood I had to, but my focus at that time was different. And I listen a lot to what Rez and persons like Rene say as to what you have to do every day. And because I didn't do everything they were saying to do every day, I didn't hit car program. And from November to April last year, my mindset then was strictly Fountain of Life. And what we wanted to do in St. Lucia the first step for us was to really do a branding campaign before the product was launched. And that was to make sure everybody knew about Fountain of Life, not the thing, not the antioxidant, to know the name, the brand Fountain of Life, because there's so many other products on the market. And we hit that off before February, and everybody knew about Fountain of Life. When Fountain of Life came out in February, my objective, the team's objective in St. Lucia, was to make sure we got as many persons using the product as possible. So we were out there on the street like crazy people, just giving people drops to drink and experiencing the product. So we could have gotten some great testimonials before our event in April, and we did that. And once we had accomplished that, we had our world tour, which is what's about to happen in some countries. Singapore is having it now, St. Lucia again next week. Then our focus was to getting more people to distribute. Now, Rene said something as I came on the call about being consistent with your presence online. And that's something I think I've mastered in this past year. Always, every day, people will see postings from me every single day. And so people in St. Lucia and St. Lucians outside of St. Lucia started seeing what was happening with Fountain of Life as people used it. Now, as people began to use it, now persons want to know, if I'm sending you 6 people every week or 12 people per month in buying Fountain of Life from you, I may as well sell it. So I learned that line from Rene some months ago when he says, he simply approaches his users and says, so how would you feel if you got to make some extra cash from distributing Fountain of Life. And they're like, oh yeah, that would be cool. And that's a simple line. So from April of this year, every month, MGRS has become like drinking water. And I don't even focus on MGRS. It just happens because of the fact that my pipeline now is so full. So all I do every day is do simple things. I do my posts every day. I follow up with my existing customers every day. I follow up with persons who told me that they were interested in the product every day. And then I give them Rene's line. So now that you've been using the product for 3 months, now that you've been using the product for 6 months, how would you feel about making an extra $500 a month by sharing this amazing product and experience with at least 12 persons every month? And then that has brought persons to our rooms every week in St. Lucia. That has created a synergy online with my posts every day. So people from outside would message me, how can I get part of this movement? Now I have this following from Lagos in Nigeria of persons asking me, I'm seeing you posting so many amazing things. What is this thing all about? How can I become part of this family? I want to join this thing. And so it's the presence and the following that I have. So now my daughter, who's been working this full time from July, last month, she came really close to hitting MGRS. She was missing about $100 something for retailing, and she didn't hit it. And that reminded me of my first time. So what happened this month is she's hit it off. She's already qualified for MGRS for this month, and I'm lagging behind. So now she's showing off on her phone to me from yesterday. So now I have pressure in my own house for MGRS and car program. What is exciting about that for me, Rez and Rene, is the extra check that you didn't expect. So you hit MGRS and you hit the car program for the end of the month. And then you tend to forget it because you're doing your thing every day. And then you wake up on the morning of the 15th of the next month, and you're seeing that your e-wallet has gone up by some hundreds of dollars. And every time it happens, I say, but what happened? I can't, what? And then it hit me, oh shoot, it's MGRS. And then I get excited all over again. So if I forget to do anything in the first half of the month, by the time I get paid this month for last month's qualification, oh boy, I need to get these $100 again next month. So I get to work in case I had forgotten or I had lagged off in the first couple of weeks. The car program for me is very powerful in a different way. You see, in St. Lucia, we don't have the car listing programs that you have in the US and in Canada. But I love that our CEO is so gracious and so generous that he gives us the option of taking the car or transferring the car program money into shopping credits. So for me, from April to now, one of the powerful things that this has been able to do, and for November, it was the most powerful. I am able to take my car program, $750 that I've qualified for every month, and transfer it to shopping credits, and I use that to reinvest in my business as stock. So while it would have costed me a certain amount per bottle to buy, so when I sell it, I make a certain profit margin. Now it's like getting my bottles for free, especially in November, because all shopping credits you get from the 1st of November, 100% of it is towards Fountain of Life as well. So for the first time since we've been having car program and selling Fountain of Life, I've been able to purchase as much as 5 family packs and only pay for shipping. And this was, when it happened, it was like, oh my God, this is so amazing. So it's almost as if I'm getting free Fountain of Life to sell and making it easier for me to sell, easier to recruit, easier to do everything else. So when this thing of me having to start paying customs for my products, for me, it's still amazing because the company's giving me back so much, other places to make up for that, like 10 times. So I'm not sure if persons are understanding this, but you can tell I'm excited about it. But this business is just getting better and better. So car program and MGRS is, for me, it has become a non-issue because I do everything every day. I sell every day. I talk to people so I can recruit at least one person per month. I make sure I purchase at least $150 worth of products every month. And I make sure I have other persons on my team doing the same thing so the volume can flow up. So for me, I help myself and I help others. I don't sell Fountain of Life. I give solutions to problems people have. Rene was talking about high blood pressure and diabetes. I offer solutions. I don't go, do you know about this product? I don't do that. Now I have my cap, my polo shirts, my bags. I print Fountain of Life on everything. So wherever I go, without me having to say anything, persons approach me because they see Fountain of Life written all over me from my head down to my feet. So if they don't, I have a mixture of Fountain of Life and Fairy on me 24/7. And now I'm branding my kids with it. The jackets that they go to school with for rain, because we're in the rainy season, has the logo of Fountain of Life on it. So people ask them about it. So every time I leave my home, I'm branded with Fountain of Life. I'm at the stadium for this past week watching cricket, and I'm selling Fountain of Life. I'm having persons test the product because I go every night with my shirt, Fountain of Life, and my cap, Fountain of Life. So I'm branded 24/7 when I go. Even when I go visit my mom and my dad on a Sunday, I have it on because I meet people along the way. And for me, it's not business, like I've always said. It's become my mission, because in St. Lucia, in most of the islands, if Verlin is on the call, she can attest to that. We have so many persons suffering from diabetes and high blood pressure in these islands. It's not funny. People die weekly in St. Lucia from diabetes, especially from diabetes. And it's become like cancer for us. And for me, it's mandatory. If I don't tell people about it, it means I'm not helping that family. If I don't show people another way, it means that I'm not helping my economy. If I don't have persons understand that when your kids come out of school, if they don't, even if they can't get a job, there's another way. They can use their phones now to tap into Africa and Canada and the US and the UK and Australia. They can tap out into the entire world via social media and make $500 a week. For some of these parents, that's what the parents have been making in a month. So I offer solutions to problems that people have, and it's easy to do that rather than when you think, I can't sell, or how do I sell this? Every day I think of how can I help more people in my country? How can I help more people out there to get a better quality of life in both their health and their wealth? So I want to thank you, Rez, for getting me on last minute, because I was running around doing so many things and I couldn't get on while I was on the road. I got back home and I love this, that I'm able to share. I'm very sorry I missed the training. I hope it's recording. Yes, it's recording. So I can go back and listen, because I learn a lot from listening to Reza and Rene, and every day the nuggets they give work. And once I apply them, my business gets to be done a lot easier and a lot more effective. So thank you very much, millionaires. I'm right on your heels. I will be one of the next millionaires that the company will create en route to becoming $1 billion company. And I'm looking forward to many, many more others joining us on that path. So thank you, and back to you, Reza and Rene.
Thank you very much, Renisha. That was awesome. It's always inspiring, energizing, listening to your story. And I know how hard you work. And I also know what your sights are set on. I know you're helping a lot of people financially, health-wise, and so on. I know where you're heading with this. Congratulations again for qualifying. Congratulations to Chloe for the qualifying already this month. That's awesome, awesome, awesome. So Rene, at this point, I guess we're going to get ready to close the call. Maybe you want to share your story really quick, and I'll close the call altogether.
Thank you so much. Again, I just wanted to say my hats off to Vernisha, because folks, one thing that I've always respected about Vernisha, and I want you all to take this key point away, is her own belief, her own self-belief about herself. You can hear in her voice that she is convicted and determined, and has told herself, she knows deep down that she's going to reach that $1 million status, right? And in business, we have to have that same level of commitment and desire in ourselves, right? So again, I want to encourage you guys to lead and to have that same kind of mindset that Vernisha has, because there's one thing in common between people like myself and Reza and Vernisha in the top is that we're all convicted, and we have that belief that we can achieve whatever we put our minds to. That's the most important thing, right? Just to really share my story, it's a bit of a long call, and I don't want to talk for too long, but in short, my daily routine is like Renisha said, it's every day. I don't make time for this business. I'm not trying to slot windows of time. I do it throughout my day as I'm doing my daily activities, right? So when I first got started, again, I had a job. I was working as a full-time programmer, working at TELUS from 9 till 6, 9 till 7 as a programmer. And so, but I didn't even through my daytime, when I was at work, I was doing phone calls, I was doing texting on my lunch break, on my breaks, twice per day. I was doing contact to people with my prospects, right? Constantly trying to book meetings, right? And so on a daily basis, it's nonstop, just having fun while sharing FOL. So I always tell people my routine in the business, especially when I wake up in the morning, I do a few things. The first thing I do when I wake up is I give thanks that I'm here and that I'm alive, because every day above ground is a great day to be alive, right? So I give thanks for being alive. I also tell myself that today is going to be a fantastic day. So I wake up in the morning telling myself that no matter what happens today, because you might wake up with a bad dream and you're kind of off to the wrong start, I would switch my mindset. I tell myself that today is going to be a fantastic day. Number three, I ask myself, whose life can I help empower today? Whose life can I somehow, just by passing them by and saying something, can I improve? Can I better someone's day for them, right? And then I always assign 2 tasks to do every day. So, but that's what I do daily basis. So it's not like you have to make time to go and promote FOL. You do it at the family barbecues. You do it at your parties. You do it at buying coffee. You do it while you're at the grocery store. You're doing it, just while you're doing this, take an extra minute to talk to someone. That's literally what I do. And to answer the other question, which was, why did I get into the business? In short, my quick why was that I was a programmer working at TELUS 9 to 5. I was earning about $80,000 a year income, but again, after taxes in Canada, it's more like $50,000 or less. And I was living at my parents' house. Didn't have a girlfriend. Was driving a Toyota Corolla, and I was kind of getting by, but I couldn't see a way projecting my income. I was working at TELUS, projecting inflation, and I just couldn't see a way where I could live the life that I wanted to have. Not the life that I think the average person thinks that they can try to get, but the life that I wanted to have for myself. The big house, the fancy cars, the time with your children, the perfect marriage, which I don't think there actually exists a perfect marriage, but we try to have a perfect marriage, right? And so in short, I knew that working at TELUS would not give me that lifestyle. So I was just motivated. I was just extremely motivated. I was 27 years old. I've been working for IBM and TELUS for about 7 years by then. Even as an intern, I was working at IBM. And I just knew that this job would not bring me to the life that I want to live. I don't want to live the life like my parents did, work for 50 years, and my mom, just 2 years before her full retirement, got laid off, so she wouldn't have the full package, and then live off a pension. Like what's pension? So a lot of the things that motivated me folks was I just realized what's the reality of retirement. Like just ask yourself, right? What's going to happen to you when you're 50 years old, 55, 60, 65? What will life be like for you if you're running at your current pace? If you're doing what you're doing right now, what will your life look like at age 65? Do you want to retire sooner? And if you do want to retire sooner, then what do we have to do to get you there? And so, the right vehicle is a key thing. But for me, I was just so ready at 27 years old that, because I knew I did not want to live the lifestyle that my parents had. Because right now, if you think about it, it's almost scary. If you think that somehow upon retirement at 65 that the government will take care of you, just knock on the door, it's not going to happen. Look at the average pension payouts right now. Pension is going down, right? So in short, I was just really motivated, and I tried other opportunities before in the past, and I was blessed to come across this company because my sister was asked to inspect this company from someone that was at a trade show. So through a trade show, someone basically was at that trade show that then contacted my family to go and take a look at this opportunity to give our opinion, and that's how this all got started. So that being said, I could share a lot more, but we're already at 12:17. Of course, Reza, I want to hear your story as well too. But yeah, thank you so much, and have a great day, everyone. Reza, back to you.
Thank you very much, Rene. Awesome story. I know Rene is actually one of the main factors of why I decided to get to work. My story is quite simple. A lot of you know my story, some of you don't. In 2005, when the founder, creator of this company, Rami Mesgarlu, my brother, was about to launch this program, he came and asked me, he said that he wanted to meet with me. And I said to him, great, come on over. And he says, no, this is not a social call. This is business. And he knows, him and I have been doing business together all our lives. These two brothers are very tight, thanks to our mom and dad that make sure that you understand family first, and there's no yours and his. And whatever you guys have, you share. Doesn't matter if it's yours because it was bought for you. Anyways, we grew up that way. We've done business together that way throughout the years. In 2005, I was working for the local government, and when he called me to say that he wanted to have a conversation with me, and it was not social call, it was business, we sat down, and he basically, make a long story short, it was like we're starting in the fashion side of things, custom jewelry, that's what it was. And he was looking in the crystal ball and predicting the future. Really, literally, that's what he was doing. And you know what? He told me what we were going to be, how it's going to be, how we're going to be massive, how we're going to be in every country in the world, blah, 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 going on and on and on. Now, normally, if he came from someone, I said yes to him. I said yes to him not because he's my brother, but because I have done business with him all my life. Because if he was not someone I believed in, business-wise, heart-wise, the way his heart is, and his conviction, the way he goes about things, I would have probably said, good luck. Let me know how I can help you. I'll help you whenever I can. And that's really, I would have left it as that. So I said yes to him. I didn't understand where we were going with this. I said, but I'm willing to learn. Show me what we got to do, and I'm in. He says, don't worry. He briefly explained to me what he was going to do. I launched my shop immediately, and I watched this company grow. I watched this company's product line grow. I remember when I attended a convention in 2007. I remember that. I had a number of people that were getting paid anywhere from $5,000, $10,000, up to $20,000 per month, which is Rene Leo himself. And these folks all had launched a shop that joined this business years after me. I had not got to work, so I was not making any money, and they were making all this money. So I said to myself, enough is enough. Working for the local government, playing with real estate at the time. Again, I had no dependents, no kids, and it was me for me. Happy, good, lucky, but I knew that I did not want to hold a job until I'm 65 to retire and so on. Always been an entrepreneur, and I've always thought about businesses. And you know what? Good thing I did launch my shop, and in 2008, August 1st, is when I got to work. I said, today's the day, and I started plugging away on a part-time serious basis. Now, you heard from Bernicia, you heard from Rene, that basically what they said was they do this business all the time. Well, I'm going to give you a little tip. It's good to do this business all the time, as long as you have the discipline, and all the time does not mean when possible. All the time, when they say all the time, they mean at any given time, wherever they come across, they do this business, and they make time throughout the day to do this business. Now, to simplify what you must do, because majority of people that get into this business, they start as a sometime-timer, part-time serious, which leads to full-time, right? What you must do is have a schedule. You must have a schedule for this business, because if you do not have a schedule, guess what? You're not going to attend to this business, because everything else will take a front seat to your business. Because if you don't know what all the time means, you're going to be attending to this business when convenient, when you have nothing else to do. So what my biggest suggestion is, make sure that you do have a schedule. Sit down, make a schedule. If you're a part-timer, great. Sit down and make a schedule. How do I make a schedule? Well, you can get with one of your qualified uplines and make that schedule. Find out when the company webinars are. Find out when, it doesn't matter where you live. Sit down, you have your full-time job, which you have a schedule for, right? That's what you attend to on a weekly basis, right? Now you have your part-time business. You need to have a schedule for it. Whether it's 1 day a week, 2 days a week, 5 days a week, 5 hours a week, 50 hours a week, set a schedule and attend and give it the respect that you give your full-time job. To me, my full-time job was my temporarily solution because we have to pay bills. We have to, live, right? But that was not my permanent thing. This business on a part-time basis was far more important to me than my full-time job. Like Rene mentioned earlier, he would take breaks, lunchtime, go in the bathroom, go outside for, I don't know, whatever, and he would make calls. He would send text messages, setting up appointments, right? Contacting people. So that is basically when I decided that enough is enough, I need to get to work. I knew I had to eat, breathe, and sleep Opulence Global, my business, right? That's what I needed to do. Even though I do have my schedule, but yet outside that schedule, my office hours, for example, are 12 noon to 4 p.m. Then kids till about 6, 7 p.m. Then my business again from 7 p.m. till whenever. Right now, my business is around the clock, right? So what I do, I have the freedom of pick and choose these slots. So I get to spend my time with family, with my kids. And once they're in bed, once they're in school, so I have a schedule. I personally have a schedule, still have a schedule. I try to do it the way of no schedule, and you often find yourself doing things because you don't have a schedule. If someone comes to you and says, okay, well, there is some party going on after the cricket tournament, and if you do not have a schedule, oh, okay, let's go. I don't have anything planned. But if you have a schedule, you're going to stick to that schedule, right? So my number one tip is to make sure you have a schedule, okay? Number two, make sure to understand what you need to do with your schedule. Do we sit on social media, on Facebook, and play around? No. Make sure you strategize and do what makes you money. In Opulence, we call it RGA, income generating activities, okay? So you got to make sure within that schedule, you do a lot of RGA, income generating activities, right? Number three, you got to make sure you have a target. Set yourself up a target. What I did was I started a part-time serious basis. My target was 6 months. 6 months before I get rid of my job. In order for me to get rid of my job in 6 months, I need to double my income with my part-time Opulence business than I do with my full-time job. That was my target. Double it, not equal it. Okay? And this is what you need to break it in smaller increments, what you need to do on your schedule, your daily, weekly basis, right? So it's very important that you are clear of what you need to do, how many customers you need to have, how many shops you want to launch per month, per week, per day. So be clear on that and go forward. And if you do that, I don't care what's your background, what's your age group, what is your gender, it doesn't matter. You will have success. Eat, sleep, and breathe Opulence. Baby the product, and make sure that you are out there with the mindset of wanting to help as many people as you possibly can. Okay? This is really it. There is no secret. There is no replacement for hard work. There is no replacement for being disciplined. Discipline is what really is the number one killer for a lot of people in business. The discipline part. Because in our type of business, we don't have a boss, right? We are accountable. We got to keep ourselves accountable and responsible for our business. And you know what? There's so many things that we can talk about. That's all like a whole different kind of training. But yeah, if you look at the common denominator between all the consistent top earners, is that they're disciplined. The discipline, eat, sleep, breathe, their business is what brings them that success You know what? This is where you need to sit down, strategize, make it a schedule, and treat your business. If you wanted to make you $1 million a year, treat it like $1 million business. Don't treat it as, you know, this business that you have and you'll attend to it when you want to attend to it. Once you become well versed, once you eat, sleep, and breathe, then you know what? You will be like Vernicia and Rene and be doing this business at all times, right? Even when you're going to pick up your kids from school or pick them up from school, or when you're going to your parents on the weekend, this is something that becomes you. You become it. And believe me, it's very powerful. So at this point, I know the call took a little bit longer than it should have, but I see we have a majority of our audience still on the call. So I hope you guys all took great benefit from what we talked about. You want to make sure that you promote this training call to every one of your team members. Make sure everyone is on these trainings. The ones that are in the different time zones, they can still attend this Saturday, right? So you want to make sure to find out where these webinars are and make sure that your team, attends these trainings and your team understands the importance of training. Very, very, very important if you want to have a long-term business, not just for your lifetime, but for generations to come. This is the type of business it is. This is what it's doing for so many people. Let's make sure he does it for you too. At this point, thank you very much, everyone, for this great morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it is, for you guys to stick with us. And if you have any questions, you can send them to me privately. A lot of you should be able to find me on Instagram, Facebook. And you know what? Go ahead and message me on Facebook, send me on WhatsApp, whatever it is. Message me. You can find me. I'm not hard to find. Thank God there's only one Reza Mascardo in this world, so I should be easy to find. All right, guys. God bless. Love you guys all. Have a great afternoon, evening, morning, wherever part of the world you might be. Have a great evening. Take care. Bye-bye.